Hey, man. Can we talk?
Get rid of you.
Whoa. You look tired, man. Everything okay?
I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with sleeping on the floor?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Of course not. You have your cozy captain's bed. All right. No need to be so dramatic about it. I'll get you a proper dorm. Sounds like a promise.
So, this is why we stopped. A lava river. Plan B then, I guess. We'll need to figure out if there's a way around. Wonder how many more surprises this planet has in store.
Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for.
Hallelujah.
I hope you sleep well tonight.
I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization.
Sweet dreams, then.
like the new metals outpost. Good, solid truth.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? You bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which can only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. It's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information. And that's the interesting part. Yeah. Our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board. But there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? You have to get our research lab running at once. We need to make some improvements fast if we want to succeed. Then I guess the sooner I start, the better. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.
I'm also Jan, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home.
Cheers.
To the safer evacuation functionality.
Would you like me to address that?
These loose rocks look like they might be passable. Maybe I had a tool to drill through them. This is not good. are surrounded. Damn it. So much for Plan B. Hey, what's this? Huh. It's triggering the alert in my suit. I need to learn more about this thing. Must be another one of those cargo drops. Except that doesn't look like the crew's personal luggage. Might be worth checking out. Huh. Looks like some kind of device. There's a way I could use it. Yes, I was missing that.
What's up?
Okay, I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it.
Holy shit. What now?
I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve?
So now I'm smart, huh? Still, even I might not be enough. But a smarter version of us? Yeah, he could do the trick. The scientist. He could look for a solution in that research lab you built.
Okay, let's give it a go. Look what I found. Any idea what it could be?
Let's see. It looks like a qubit chip.
Qubit chip?
Yeah, like an enhanced storage for quantum computing operations. It could be useful for increasing the efficiency of our QC unit, not to mention accessing new tech in the research lab.
So, I just plug it into the QC?
Plug it into whatever you want. Won't do much. It's dead. I'd give it some love in the workshop first.
Duly noted. So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That's slow enough for you? Hey, you've just crossed out every team-building exercise on my list. The people are there for the mission, not the other way round. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. So what exactly was your research about? Nanotech and space exploration. We went from a humble startup to making headlines in a few months. Taking our solutions to the front line was my dream come true. The data we could bring back. You had big plans for it. Well, now it's all gone. Yeah, I understand how lousy that must feel. Honestly, I don't think you do. But I hope we're not gonna sit around crying about it. There's work to be done, here and now. That's true. Well, let's get to it then. I found something peculiar on the planet. What exactly was peculiar about it? Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation. Yes. You could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called interval. The what? Interval. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane. Whatever it is, doesn't sound like something I'd want to walk into again. Yes. It's fascinating, but it can be dangerous. If, and I stress if, Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been a puncture point, the spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe, subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. We need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Oh, interesting. A motivational hoodie. Motivational? More like demotivational. I only kept it because it's really comfy. Of course you did. It doesn't remind you of all that determination and ambition that fueled my academic success. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Marie? Marie Skrzydlowska? Where the hell did you find that old thing? Oh, I use it as an anti-stress ball, so it's always lying around. Anti-stress ball? This duck was the first audience for so many papers I wrote. Time for Marie to get back to her proper job. Hello?
Jan Dольски. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found rubidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Limited circle, huh? Bullshit. The public has a right to know about such things.
I like your passion, Jan. You're an honest man. But you're under enough pressure already. We don't need the media to go berserk or the stock market to overreact. We don't need chaos down here while all our efforts should concentrate on supporting you up there. Your task is difficult enough, and failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the rubidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rubidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate rubidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dольски.
Okay, you're buttering me up for something big here. Let's cut to the chase.
Hard-headed. I like that. You've probably noticed how different rubidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
How come it works then?
Not enough tests were run to explain that. The only sample ever found in space was researched inside a mobile base like your own, but it never made it back to Earth. It lasted long enough to demonstrate its amazing qualities, only to disintegrate somewhere between the Copernicus and the Hyades cluster.
So, you're afraid the rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting rupidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a rupidium ark should be your primary focus now.
Sounds like a big task. I should get to it straight away.
It is a big task, Jan, but it's worth every effort. I hope you realize the gravity of the moment.
I thought you said you didn't want to put pressure on me.
You're right. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within Ally Corp, but for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Altering mind records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the alters.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
No. I'm good.
Rupidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with the remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go. But it was a pleasure talking to you. And we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
Rid of you!
I can see that you're angry.
Just leave me alone.
Come on, let me help. What do you usually do when you feel like this?
I don't know. Go to a bar, I guess. Nothing better than a bottle of cheap, lukewarm beer, am I right?
Well, brother, good news. There's plenty of beer, and it's free.
Give my people plenty of beer, good and cheap, and you will have no revolution. telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you this is the least
The
important.
safer evacuation.
Nice. I don't know that movie. Hey, is that one following me? What the hell? stuff landed here. What is this? Another anomaly? It looks out of this world.
I made a curious discovery. Another distortion?
I don't know. It was different this time. It didn't look dangerous, no radiation. Actually, it didn't do anything. But it caught your attention. It's like nothing I've seen before. It must have something in common with the other distortions. Question is, are they the cause or the reason of so much rupidium here? I'd like to study them more. So would I. And for that, we'll have to design our own tools. Do you have anything specific in mind? Let me think about it. I need to look through Professor Frankov's lectures, as well as notes from other expeditions. We have a theory. I just need to find a way to put it into practice. I ran into another anomaly. This one was different. It was like this distortion was closing in on me, as if I was pulling it toward me. How extraordinary. Maybe its magnetic field is interacting with your suit. Yeah, well, running away from it was no fun. Keeping clear of it is the only thing you can do for now. Let's keep collecting observations. I feel we're onto something groundbreaking here.
I feel good about today. So, do you have time for a little job evaluation?
Excuse me?
Great. I think there's room for improvement in the speed of your work.
You're joking, right?
Keeping busy, I hope.
Hey man, you're clearly angry. Meaningless small talk will only make me more angry.
So maybe we can talk about something meaningful. What calms you down?
Punching that smirk of yours would definitely do the trick. But if you really need to know, walking it off, I guess.
Easy to maintain, aren't you?
That's me. Simple life, simple needs.
Functionality manual.
see me. I'd like to draw your attention to something.
I must say, the research lab is a bit disappointing.
You could say that about many modules in our base.
You're not wrong. I won't let that stop me.
What a week, huh?
So, did you find a solution to our problem?
Yes, it's super simple. We'll build a bridge.
Oh, just like that?
Well, it can't be a regular bridge, of course. We don't have the time nor the manpower to accomplish that. However, there is a certain technology that came to my mind, superconductive bridge anchors. They could allow us to quickly span a light but durable construction across our obstacle.
Wow, great. Sounds exciting.
Yes, but...
Oh, here we go.
cut out the sarcasm. It's not my fault this excursion was prepared by a dilettante. Blueprints for the anchors should be standard equipage for every mission since Project Versant went live, but not on this one. They should fire the logistician, if there ever was one.
Versant?
Versatile synthetics program. One of my undergraduate students went to work for them, had some impressive achievements, including designing bridge anchors for heavy exploration equipment. You'd think it would be obvious, but no.
Tell me about it. It's so typical of Ally Corp to send people on a mission and then leave them stranded without proper equipment.
I hope you're not feeling sorry for yourself, because we need to act. You are in touch with mining operations, right?
Yeah, I am. Why?
Next time you talk to someone from mining ops, tell them to send over the anchor blueprints from Versant. Once we have them, things will go back to super simple. You'll see.
All right, will do.
Not getting any connection from mining ops. Any idea how I can ask them for those blueprints? Didn't they push you to mine rubidium? Report getting the job done, and someone will turn up. Trust me, I know how this company works.
Okay, thanks.
Activation functionality. Locating to the safer evacuation layer. To the base. Welcome to
God, I noticed we're missing a few rad filters.
Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet.
So, what do you got for me?
An invention I'm particularly proud of. The Luminator.
You mean a flashlight?
You have a talent for making extraordinary things sound mundane. It's not just a flashlight, Jan. Tell me, when you encounter these distortions, what is your priority?
To get them out of my way.
Now you'll be able to do it.
Okay. How?
Professor Frankov discovered that certain frequencies of light waves can be used to peer into proximity planes, to study them. I've used his observations to create my Luminator so it can reveal elements of the interval hidden to the human eye. But it also has another, more pragmatic application. It can help to eliminate distortions.
You mean destroy them for good?
I'm just giving you a tool. You decide how to use it. You see, distortions are created around puncture points between potential universes. That much we know. Now, with the Luminator, they should become much more visible to you. Focusing the Luminator's light waves exactly on the puncture point will allow you to seal that rift. You could compare it to cauterizing a wound.
Damn. That does sound promising.
Indeed. Now you see why I don't like calling it a flashlight.
rid of you.
Leave a base can take up to several days.
God, I noticed we're missing a few rad filters.
Let's see where this leads.
Running out of storage space, you know?
rid of you.
I have something for you. I used the illuminator on one of those strange areas on the surface, and it revealed some sort of plants, but not real living plants. More like a projection of another dimension that became visible to me. Keep going. I followed their path and found something that could have been their core. And when I used the illuminator on it, I found some interesting specimens. Really? Specimens from the interval. Did you secure them properly? Of course. I have to take them to my lab immediately. Let me study them thoroughly. Jan, this is beyond my wildest dreams. A whole new area of research wide open before me. Before us. What happened in the kitchen? You look pale. Mild food poisoning, that's all. The fridge may be malfunctioning. Oh, I'm so sorry. You must feel terrible. Don't get soft on me. I'd much prefer it if you stopped neglecting your responsibilities.
To the safer evacuation functionality.
Hey man, can you hear me? Where am I? What is this? Take it easy. You're on strong sedatives. What the hell? I know. You're confused. That's perfectly fine. Really? So, who are you? Relax. I'll tell you everything. But right now, we need to focus on you, just to make sure you're all right. Can you answer a few questions for me? Okay. Do you remember who you are?
I'm Jan. Jan Dольски.
Good. And what is your role on this mission, Jan?
I'm a botanist. So, wait, this is it? The mission? Did we land?
Yes. Don't worry. We're safe.
But, so, where's the captain?
I'm the captain in this base.
But I don't get it. Why do you look like me? Are you real?
Just as real as you.
Then, what's going on?
It's like we're alternative versions of the same person.
Wow, but why is this happening?
Okay. There There was a bad accident during the landing. No one else survived. I had to use my DNA to recreate a crew if I wanted to save the mission.
That doesn't make any sense. We're not exactly the same.
Yes, we're different. You made different decisions in your life.
I'm not sure I understand.
You know what? I think you should just rest a little and read the mission logs. You'll find all the answers there.
Sure. Yeah, mission logs, why not? Hey, wait. If all this is... If I mean... What about my wife? Where is she? I need to know.
She's on Earth, and we need to figure out how to get there.
Okay. What do you want from me?
We'll need all the help we can get. Someone to run the greenhouse, prep the food, so on. Trust me, you'll have a lot to do.
I'm not sure I'm ready to work just like that.
Right. Like I said, rest, go through the logs, meet the rest of the crew, and let's talk again in a while.
Yeah.
I'll see you around.
To the saber evacuation.
Hey, man. Can we talk?
Chip incidents with
Can't get rid of you.
Hey, you wanted to discuss something?
Yeah. I want to know when you started being such a pushover.
What?
You heard me. I'm not blind. I can see the workload pile up. And you, eager to take new orders.
Well, I'm not exactly in the best negotiating position. Using illegal technology to save my life, creating my alters. I'd better have a good justification for that.
So they're threatening you. Even better.
Like I said, I don't have much choice. Maxwell's in charge here.
Yeah, so was Dad. The man of the house. I thought you regretted not standing up to him. Looks like you didn't learn much.
That's a little below the belt. You're right. Sorry, this place is getting to me. All I'm saying is, we should do something just for ourselves. Something not work-related, not productive in any way. Like what? Well, there's a social room module available in this base. We could start with that. I bet it has a beer pong table. Yeah, see? A smile on your face. Let's build a place where we can chill out and play beer pong, and then, after I've beaten you, we can talk more serious stuff. What do you say? You're never beating me. I'm the official beer pong champion of my year. Well, the third floor of my dorm, anyway.
Oh man, I'm shitting my pants already. take care of this now?
To the saber evacuation.
Hey, everything okay on your side? Actually, I was going to approach you. Do you think... Is there any way I can go back to my life, I mean? Imagine there was a way, and you could go back. What would be the first thing you'd do? That's a no-brainer. I'd check up on Lena. I'm worried to death about her. Why would you be worried? No, forget I said that. I think I'm still a little confused, that's all. You miss her, don't you? I don't want to talk about it. Suddenly, everything's gone. Just like that. It's brutal. I'll need more time to even start hoping to come to terms with it. Sure, take your time. But remember, you're needed here. Yeah. I'll do my best to find some sense in it.
Please ensure that the saber.
Can't get rid of you.
Unbelievable. My whole research is gone due to someone's incompetence.
Hey, what happened in the research lab?
What happened? What happened? My whole research is gone because of a preposterous hardware malfunction.
Tell me what to do to undo the damage.
Well, only I can replicate the data. First, I need to have a working lab. Can you prioritize fixing it?